Hi, this is Kevin Cook. Thank you for coming back to Heavy Construction Equipment Podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about renting an excavator. And again, this episode has been sponsored by me. Are you looking for good, used, quality equipment? Then come to my website at www.heavyequipmentguy.com or call me at 817-733-3799. All right, here we go on to the podcast. Since the construction and heavy equipment industry has risen over the past years, so has many other industries that are associated with them having developed in many years. Out of the many industries, one is renting heavy equipment. It is not only never a problem to let out your machines, as you will always find a taker for it. You know, a lot of people are doing that nowadays, taking their construction machines that they're not using and renting it out. Gone are the days where a person has to struggle giving an ad in a newspaper to find someone who wants to take their equipment on rent. Now, people are educated about how to move ahead with renting heavy equipment. There are a number of ways in which you can rent out your machine. You can get in touch with a rental company whose main focus is to find parties who need to give the machine and rent as well as take it on rent. So primarily they can try and bring both parties at the common place and strike a deal between them. The other option is going online and listing your heavy equipment on there. That's a good way to find a lot of people too nowadays, online, internet, website, social media, you name it. The heavy equipment that people take more than anything else is an excavator. You mostly need to use a lot of excavators on the majority of all the jobs. Excavation usually requires excavators, so it's one of the most important things out there, It seems that an excavator is quite flexible machine which can be used for multiple purposes, unlike any other heavy equipment. You can only need to change its attachments and get ready for the work other than excavating. Due to its flexibility, it's probably the only machine that is high in demand and often gives the owner a good rental value. You can try and know the rental value of your machine from rental companies or from websites where people list their excavators on rent. This is a really not a tough job and can help you know the correct value of your excavator. Next, ensure the excavator is in great shape or good shape. Before you rent out your excavator, it's very important to ensure that the heavy equipment is in good working condition. If you see any issues with it, get it fixed before you rent it out to anyone or someone. It creates unnecessary hassles if they hand over this item with some faults in it without informing the user about it. They might even feel cheated, and many are not want to do any further business with you. So make sure you got good products, have a good reputation, rent the right stuff. This all puts negativity light, which may turn ugly if he or she spreads it out to other people. You may find it hard to rent an excavator to anybody else. Also, paint the machine and make it look new every time before you rent it out to a new person. And lastly, an agreement is mandatory. Always have a written agreement. If you don't have it, it could affect you in the long run down the road. You are required to have an agreement where it explicitly states that you are giving your excavator on a rental basis and the person will return it with no or minor wear and tear. Also mention the amount you will receive as a rent on the monthly basis as a well and tender of your contract. Any other details you feel is important should be mentioned in the agreement. You can appoint an attorney for this purpose who can take care of this part. They help write up those agreements, and then you use that same agreement for future rentals all the time. Again, if you have any questions, give me a jingle, 817-733-3799. Thank you, and God bless.